And we are thrilled to kick off hour number 2. The man who's sitting here to my right, his film Old Dads, the most watched film worldwide on Netflix for the first 2 weeks that it was out, available on Netflix, which is available on Roku right now. And Leo, the animated musical comedy with him and Adam Sandler, will be available for streaming next Tuesday in time for Thanksgiving. The great Bill Burr. Good to see you, Bill.
How's it going?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too.
How was Madison Square Garden?
It was amazing. It was amazing. And I did it with Dean Del Rey, Josh Adam Myers, and Leah Sampson. And then my special guest was Andrew Dice Clay, which I thought was perfect at the Garden until he went up and started murdering. And I was just like, why did I just do this to myself? Like, this could have been an easy thing. And he was, his foot has not come off the gas pedal at all. And he was just leveling the place.
Of course.
And I was doing that was 10 minutes, right? 10. No, he's only been on for 3. I was like pacing back and forth. But
he must have blowtorched the place.
Yeah, I mean, that's his house.
I once saw him. You want to talk about complete ground zero? I'm from Staten Island. I saw him at Grandpa Al Lewis's comedy club in Staten Island once upon a time.
In that little strip mall.
I'm telling you, Bill, I'll never forget it. He came out, to Whip and Post. Is that still his song when he comes out, or no?
I don't know what. I was hiding in the bowels of the arena. I was just hearing it sounded like a jet was landing. I was like, why can't you just have an easy night? But I love him, and he's a great guy, and he gave me this amazing intro, and he gave me a big bear hug as I went on stage. So
Fantastic.
If you told the 23-year-old me when I started out in this business that was going to happen, like, I probably would have fainted.
I bet. Yeah. I bet you had the Knicks 2 lonely banners hanging there in the arena.
Come on, man. Why are you going to kick those people?
Well,
why are you going to kick them when they're down? Good Lord.
I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm
shout out to Spike Lee for sticking with the team, unlike most of those people in Brooklyn. Blows my mind how you could just that'd be like if a new basketball team moved to Boston, all of a sudden they're on the South Shore. The Randolph Rickenbackers. Hey, I'm going to go. It's just like, what did I just invest all this time for? And they have all of this heartache invested in the Knicks.
Yeah.
So when they finally win it, they don't get to release it because they left.
Yeah.
They walked.
Right. That doesn't
They went
happen.
with the trophy wife that never won anything. The Brooklyn Nets. Some Botox lady from Malibu comes into town, with her red bottom shoes on, and they all jump ship. Don't understand it.
I know. And they had Durant and everybody there, too, at the time. So,
how many teams does New York need to win a championship? Thank God for the Yankees. The Yankees literally hold that team, and the Giants. They hold the whole city up.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like it's a train wreck.
They're carrying the load for the Jets. Carrying the load for the Nets. Well, the Rangers
Mets,
once.
They have so many teams, 3 of them rhyme with each other.
That's right. Bill Burr here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, so what do you think of what's happening with the Patriots and Belichick?
That whole conversation about him, they're going to fire him, is just scuttlebutt that was invented by the local radio, where they were just like, it's just a time to talk about. In other words, the phone lines aren't lit up. And then it just catches fire, and everybody's talking about this. You know what nobody's talking about? Who are you going to replace him with? The guy just coached a team for over 20 years. They were the team of the decade, 2 decades in a row. Nobody has ever done that.
Right.
The second there's a little rough water for 2 seasons, it's like he has to go. He has to go. The whole league ripped off what he did. The whole league has studied him. He's the modern-day Paul Brown. Paul Brown's the only other guy that was Paul Brown was successful 40s, 50s, and into the 60s before he went upstairs and everything. So, most Pats fans I know are still basking in the glow. If you can remember back to what we were before he came there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was horrible.
I was standing in front of a bunch of guys on the passport control line leaving Germany. The day after they just lost to the Colts. And there were these 3 guys who sounded like straight out of Good Will Hunting, just talking about, we used to be so dominant. We used to be so dominant. For 20 years, we were dominant. Now, the line that one of them said, they should have paid us to come over here to watch this game, is what he said.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's spoiled brats. Just they came of age when, we were just going to go to the AFC Championship game every other year. We were going to go to 9 Super Bowls and win 6. Like, nobody's done that, especially in the modern era with 32 teams. You could do it back in the 23 Skidoo.
Yeah.
You know, when guys like you and I could make the team. You know, there's always that one team that goes on a run when it was like all white guys. Yeah. And like during the off season, they were like doing construction. Yeah, anybody could, people could go on a run. You know,
the Canton Patroons or whatever. Against the leather helmets.
Yes, against the Bulldogs or whatever the heck it was. So, I am a diehard Patriots fan. Mm-hmm. I think this is way too early to even remotely think about. And, that's another thing, too. Who are you replacing him with?
Chris, you want to chime in here, Mr. New England?
Who is the guy?
No, Gerard Mayo is apparently on there. But
also a lot of rumors of maybe trading for Mike Vrabel.
A lot of rumors from who?
From the same people starting the conversation about
exactly. It's all BS.
Right.
It's all BS. This is all because there's 24 hours of sports media. You just have to come up with some stuff. I mean, I don't. I don't understand. It's okay, we're 2-7. We have no offensive line right now for whatever reason. Yeah. Mac Jones is running for his life. You're bringing Zappe. He's running for his life. The play can't develop. Yeah. You're going to have problems. And this is why marriages don't work out. The second there's rough water, people leave. And then what do? Do they stay single? They get married again. You're signing up for the same ride. So what are you going to do? You're going to get rid of Bill Belichick and you're going to bring some guy in with no rings.
That's correct.
But it's somebody new.
You want to chime in? You're the guy who wants him out, right?
That's not true. Don't put that on me.
Don't you backpedal. Don't you backpedal on me this early in the morning.
Seriously.
Look, he's got nothing. He's just standing there trying to come up with an angle. You're one of those guys.
No, I think, look, it's
you were born with a golden spoon
25 years
in your mouth.
25 years is a long time to do anything, right?
No.
It's like a third of your life. That's a long time to do anything.
Right. Okay.
Like what? Give me some examples. You're already being vague.
Be a head coach of a football team. He's 72 years old.
So what?
Okay, so all you're saying is, I think he's done it long enough. When are you tired of winning championships? He won his last one. He was Bill, 69.
There are 5-year-olds in New England right now that don't know what it's like to win.
Exactly. Thank you. That capitulation was all I was looking for.
No, I know that's what you. But you have a problem with Bill's.
I would say it would be. He's been terrible. He's been terrible as a GM the last decade. He's really only hit on a handful of guys.
Last decade when he won 3 Super Bowls.
Yes, but he wasn't drafting well. He was mortgaging the future to win right now, which is what you want. We won.
Because of Brady.
So what is the problem?
Because of Brady. The problem
because of Brady. Now it's because of Brady. When they won the first 3, it was Brady's assistant. Wait a minute.
Bill.
Brady was a system quarterback that you could plug anybody in.
Who said that?
Everybody. When we won the first 3, it was if I had, after Brady had 3 rings and people were still going, but if I had to build a team around a guy, wait a second. If I had to build a team around a guy, I got to go with Peyton Manning. That's what they said. Then they win 3 more.
Who's they?
The sports media.
People.
The same people are kicking Bill out.
Well, you're.
No. We're staying with the point that you just made. You just said because of Tom Brady. It isn't. It's because of both of them. First of all, Tom Brady won 6. One of those.
I agree that it's both of them.
That Eagles one, which Bill Belichick never gets credit for, was his genius in preparing his team so they were ready for that play. And everybody comes down on Pete Carroll. That play that whole year either was an incompletion or a touchdown. That was it. It was a total safe play until you ran into Bill Belichick.
The Seahawks Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I hate about that is that everyone's like, oh, well, if they had just given it to Marshawn. You're assuming Marshawn would have scored because they ran the same play on the previous play.
Yes.
And Dante Hightower with one arm made the tackle.
That's true.
Listen, he did a little cute play that should have been an incompletion or a touchdown. But because of Bill Belichick having his team and Malcolm Butler prepared for that moment, Brady does have another ring.
That is true.
So, it's not just him. It's not just him. It's both of them. It's all of it. And for some reason, people in the sports media, all you guys want to do is just divide and just pull things apart. Like when I read the Boston sports media, when I read these guys, I'm like, are you even a fan of these teams? Same thing when I lived in New York. All they were doing, they ripped apart Eli Manning his whole friggin' career. He beat Belichick and Brady twice.
Right. But it's not the media's job to be fans of teams, though. You know that, right? I mean,
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not the job to
What
be.
is the job?
The job is to report
speculate
what they see.
and go, sources are telling me. From the people that I know close to the team. Like,
yeah, right. That's it.
You're not talking to Robert Kraft.
I actually,
He did talk to Robert Kraft.
like 2 days ago, but not about this.
That's on your sports relationship because he knows you have a show. Did he go, hey, don't tell anybody?
No, he did not.
But by the way,
Oh, he's not telling me anything.
during the bye week,
We're going to, if we lose.
Okay,
if
little winky dink
if he
there.
sticks Bailey Zappi in at the end
he
of the
asks
game
you
and has
about
him
your
fake
family,
spike it.
and he talks about Michigan. And you say, hey, Mr. Kraft, it was great to see you. And he says, it's great to see you enjoy the lobster. That's what happens. And then he moves on to the next guy.
The only thing that was different is it was salmon.
It was salmon.
Yeah, it was salmon. Yeah, it was
I was going to say, you look good, man.
Oh, thank you.
You trimmed down. You did trim down. You look like you had a nice Bob Kraft salmon as he was telling you these secrets.
I don't know. It was Frankfurt salmon, so I didn't know where it was coming
Rich,
from.
this is safe with you, right? I can tell you I'm going to fire the greatest coach since Paul Brown, right? You just host a radio show. You know what? I feel comfortable. There's something about you.
That's my job, is to make people feel comfortable so they reveal that they're going to fire a coach. No, but you did get a sense, though, that people were kind of miserable around that team, which is what you are when you're 2-7.
And you named one other franchise.
7-hour flights to go play football games, when you're 2-7. So
when are they going to give up trying to sell that game to Europe?
What game are you talking about?
Football.
What are you talking
American
about?
football.
They like it there, Bill. You should come. You should come and do.
I've been over to Europe. All they do is trash it.
What American football?
Yeah, and then they always go like, Roy, why you call football when you don't use your feet? And every single time, it's just like, do you really think you're the first ones that have ever said that? I love how people in England act like we're not related to them. We're like that one night stand kid that they don't admit that they have. It's like, we look like you guys, we sound like you guys, and we act like you guys. And they try to act like they're European when they don't even want to be part of it. And then you go over there, like they act like they're so friggin' smart. It's like, I'm not blown away by the intellect when I go to England. I'm like, these are the same meatheads I went to summer school with. They just have an accent. Right, let's get some fish and chips. Bang on.
That's old England, and you're new.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all walking around like they're wearing powdered wigs and they're in Parliament.
Well, while you're on a roll, what do you think of the Michigan sign stealing stuff?
It's just somebody over there pissed somebody off, and they decided to go after them for what everybody is doing. Like every single college football game you watch, people are covering their mouth like Joe Pesci in Casino. They're holding up a sign. There's like a slice of pizza, a picture of Urkel, and the sign for pie. Why do you think they're doing that? And then also, I'm so sick of them acting like stealing signs isn't an incredible skill. Trying to figure out the labyrinth that they've created that maybe gives you an advantage on one or two plays. And I guess if it's a 1-point game and you want to say that was the play that did it, it's just like they're not over there going like, throw the ball to 22, and you're like not supposed to look at them. It's all disguised. And if somebody can figure that out, fine. But, you do it to the level of the Astros where, like, people are wired up like they're trying to take down a mob family. That's, by the way, that's why you know that was true cheating, is because they don't even bring it up. I was watching the World Series, and what's his face? One of the ex-pitchers for the Braves called the Astros a dynasty. Mm-hmm. Because in 7 years they won 1 or 2 or whatever it was. And the first World Series, he called it complicated. Their first championship was complicated. I was like, it was kind of cut and dry for me. Did I miss something? That's when you know you cheated on a level that could actually mess with the integrity of the game. But if you get going like with some ticky-tack crap, like Michigan, like this will follow them. They're like, oh, they're cheaters. They're this or that. They're not. Well, Harbaugh pissed somebody off.
He definitely pissed
somebody off. And they just decided, like, you know what? We're going to enforce this rule that we really don't enforce on everybody else.
But we're on the same side of this one. I mean, some dude was buying tickets and putting phones in people's hands and saying, take video of their sideline and zoom in on their signs and using that to potentially detect. It wasn't like some
Can I ask you a question?
So that's not legal. That's not legal.
Okay.
But go ahead and ask me a question.
All right. Well, here's my question. Okay, so now he zooms in on it. And then what do you see? The same slice of pizza Urkel, and how do you figure that? Maybe I'm too stupid to realize it. Maybe it's just right there. But when I look at it, I'm like, I don't know what they're doing.
Neither do I, and that's why I wanted this thing to be fully investigated before they actually sat Harbaugh down for anything.
Well, they're doing the Patriots thing right now. So what they're doing is they're going like, all right, we'll prove it in court, and they're blah, 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 and then they're not going to be able to do it. I don't think. I'm guessing. That's what happened with us, and then we beat him in court, and then they came up with another way. Well, we're a corporation, you're an employee, so you're suspended. So that's what they did. So you're going to lose.
Yeah.
You're going to end up losing this, and it's just like, it's just all goes down to your relationship with the higher part. Like the Indianapolis Colts, the level that they were cheating, and that the way that they were allowed to cheat. Because they weren't pissing any, you're Midwest people. They put the pants on one leg at a time, right? And East Coast people were idiots. We walk around, we think everybody else is dumber than us, and then eventually you get some Midwest guy in there. It's like, I'm going to shut these East Coast people up, and then they come for you.
With, by the way, an intercepted football. That's the crazy part about that Deflategate.
And it goes back it goes back earlier. Bill Polian didn't like how we were roughing up the receivers, so he got the rules changed.
That's true.
Yeah, because Irsay sat on the competition committee. It was hilarious. It was like Sopranos.
Peyton Manning throws 4 picks in the snow in New England, and suddenly you can't touch receivers.
You guys, fantastic. All right,
no, that's what it did. They took away our strength and tipped it in their favor. Hey, good on them. But then don't come back at us and then you stole our offense and won a Super Bowl. Fantastic. I get it. This is big boy stuff. But don't come back and start crying.
Bill Burr here on the Rich Eisen Show. I love
That's like those Trump guys. They're always going like, you snowflakes, F your feelings and all of that. And then you make fun of Trump. They're like, oh my God, it's so disrespectful. It's like you're saying F Joe Biden. It's like you can't have it both ways. So that's my thing as a Pats fan, okay?
Yeah.
It's just like if you're doing it too, quit your crying. Quit your crying. I mean,
How's your wife's hands doing these days?
Oh, they're fantastic. I love my wife. You know where you stand with her. Okay? The guy walked in the arena. Everybody cheered. She gave him the finger. Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great. Everybody expressed themselves. Can we all be adults? I mean, I don't know about you, but I came there to go to the fights. I didn't know I was going to the Republican National Convention. My favorite thing was when Trump was going, thank you. Thank you. You know what it reminded me of? When OJ got acquitted. Remember that? When he's going, thank you. Like, I can't believe I'm getting off of this. Thank you. Thank you. He's another guy. Donald Trump. He's getting the Michigan treatment. Do you know how many people you could accuse of that, falsifying your assets for what they're really worth?
Right.
Like, how come they're not going after the banks? I can just walk into a bank and be like, my house is worth $5 trillion. Can I have a $30 million loan? Okay.
My only pushback on that story is you said your wife gave him the finger. It was more than one, I think I saw, right?
It was dual.
It was
dual. We'll have to go. We'll have to go to New York for the tape and take 10 minutes. Yeah.
After further review.
No, she's hilarious.
I've met your wife. She's awesome. Bill Burr, the writer and director, and one of the stars.
Co-writer.
Pardon me.
With Ben Tischler.
Okay, thank you. Want to make sure we get all that done.
Yep.
Old Dads available on Netflix.
It's all loosely based on stuff. We're sort of like we're commenting on a lot of things subtly.
Yes.
Cancel culture, but we also did things where I wanted to make sure in this movie. Me and Ben, when we were writing it, it's like I didn't want to make old people right or old people wrong, young people right, young people wrong. It's like it's a little bit of both. There's a lot of old school stuff that still is good. There's a lot of old school stuff that was terrible. And then nowadays, there's a lot of young stuff that's good, and then there's stuff that's like an overcorrection. So I wanted people to be able to fast forward through the movie, look at my character, and at some point be like, I like this guy. Or like, man, why did he say that? Oh, this guy's like a jerk or whatever. And like that's to me as a human being. Which is why I just feel it's so stupid to try to sum somebody up in one, comment on social media. Yeah. Or my favorite, they go back years and years. You said this 11 years ago. It's like you had to go back 11 years. I've been a good guy for 11. That's a dynasty run of incredible behavior. But you blow off the first 11 years, you find my worst moment, and you're like, that's who you are as a person. I mean, within reason. If you the 11 years you wrote I'm so psyched I finally joined the Klan, then obviously that sticks.
That would be
that would stick. But I mean, if you had a little rough take on marriage or whatever. So but I found that being a dad now, there's I later in life I had enough time to kind of undo and examine the stuff that was done to me, and I've been able to get rid of a lot of like the bad stuff. And one of my favorite things about my kids is they're not afraid of me. They come home. I mean, it makes me have to say things twice, but they know the tone the second time. But like, I come home, they just like jump on me. They just, like I'm a trampoline to them, and I'm like this fun guy. And I feel like it works out better in the house if the woman is more of the, when the hard thing kind of has to happen, it's just better with female energy, and then I'm just like the backup cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying Renee, your wife, she's the
Nia, yes, Nia Renee, yes, Nia.
Okay.
She
Nia,
comes in.
So she's the disciplinarian in the household. Is that what you're saying?
I overcompensate for my childhood, so she has to kind of rein it in. So like this morning, my son asked for pancakes. I made him pancakes, and then my daughter comes down afterwards and was like, "Dad, why did you do that? I wanted a Dutch baby, which is like a German pancake." So I said, "All right." So I got that going. So then my wife comes downstairs. She goes like, "Our daughter hasn't eaten yet," and I pulled the Dutch baby out like we're at Denny's or something, and she's just going, "This isn't how it's going down." We're going to be late for school because I messed it up. I threw it off.
Yeah. Okay.
And, so then, my wife was giving a rough time about it, sort of looked at me, and I back her up.
Yeah, you have to.
You
gotta. All right. So by the way, Bill Burr, Old Dads, co-wrote it, directed, stars in the movie, crushed it coming out of the
with
gate.
Bobby Cannavale.
He's the best, man.
Bokeem. Woodbine. Katie Hazelton, Jackie Tone. I know I'm going to forget somebody. Rain Edwards. There's one surprise.
Okay.
In the end, I can't say who that is.
Let's not do that.
And there's two of them in there. Two of my favorite actors growing up that we got in there. And we just had Miles Robbins. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to name the whole cast. We had a great time.
Yeah, and it definitely comes across. Yeah. And so, why? Just you figured. How old are your kids? How old are they right now?
3.5 and gonna be 7.
Okay, you got to think about that for a second.
Yeah, well, I mean, time marches on.
That was a very Antonio Cromartie moment right there, right?
No, it's just like every time you get them used to them being an age, all of a sudden it comes around again.
Okay, so you just decided, hey, I got this part of my life. I want to get this stuff off my chest. Sit down, write about it.
No, it was an idea that I had, and I brought it up to Ben Tischler, and Ben's like, we should write this.
Okay.
And I said, fine. Now, I would have stuck with it for 3 days. But Ben has a work ethic, so he kept showing up. So he's the reason why the thing got made. He's the reason why Bobby Cannavale ended up being in it, because he was working on another project. And we just kept hanging in there. But we got to make a decision. We're running out of time. And I finally just said, listen, man, we're not going to get this guy. And Ben was like, no, to hell with that. We're getting this guy. And then we figured out something. It was so stupid. All I had to do was just call him directly.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I had to have Bill Block, who was with Miramax at the time, call him. And then they were like, all right, cool. And then it happened.
Any Jets-Patriots conversations between the two of you on the set? Anything like that?
Oh, no, we had no, he's not going to bring up Jets. He brought up, Bobby wanted to win, man. He brought up the Yankees.
Okay.
He's one of there's very rare Yankees Jets.
You're looking at another.
Yeah.
Right here. Because of men of a certain age, I guess, an old dad, back in the day in New York, you used to root for the same teams that played in the same stadium. Mets, Jets, Giants, Yankees. That's the way it normally would go.
So how did you go Giants, Jets?
Because my brother was a Met Jet. He's 2 years older than me. I was a smart enough guy to realize when Catfish Hunter and Reggie Jackson came to town, maybe I should hop on that bandwagon.
There you
Mets
go.
Suck. Is what
classic
it's
New
a
York,
young
classic
7-year-old
New York
kid,
fan, no
precocious
loyalty,
young man.
split aces,
and
every
it's
split aces at the blackjack table. Which one? Mets, Jets? No, you guys don't like that.
I was a precocious young man who realized if I wanted some championships, I had to hop off the Mets bandwagon.
You know what? You chose happiness.
I did,
and I'm happy for you.
I appreciate that.
You know,
so yeah,
because I always said you can tell. Just walking down the street, you can tell a Giants, Yankees fans versus Mets, Jets. It's all in the shoulders.
Come on.
No, Giants, Yankee fans, I mean, they're walking down and shit. They kind of have like that. There really is two New Yorkers.
Right.
There really is. There's that guy down there on Wall Street crushing it. And then there's that sad sack at Tad Steaks with the beat up Mets hat. I mean, it's just, You know what's funny? I did when I was doing F is for Family.
Yes.
With the great Mike Price from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
He used to you buy a brand new Mets hat every year, and right around the second week of April when he would come, he'd always be excited. Right around the second week of April, he'd walk in his office. He had a glass office. We would all watch and just see him. He'd take the hat off and he'd just throw it. He's the greatest, most big-hearted guy ever. And he would come out, and we would just be like, "They lost again." It's like, yeah, they just blew it.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the Met fans are like Jon Stewart. He's a diehard Met fan. Seinfeld, they're all Met fans.
By the way, the greatest clip, and every time I watch it, is that one when the Mets manager comes out. You got to give us a shot.
Who's
you
that?
got to give us a shot. Tom, it's my
Terry
favorite
Collins?
thing.
Terry Collins. Yeah.
My favorite thing is the umpire. He's like, Tommy, listen to me so I can hear what I'm saying.
Did you ever
Jackpot.
have you seen it's on YouTube, Earl Weaver getting ejected?
Oh, which one?
The one where it was funny.
I've won more than I lost?
Yes.
Yes.
That one.
Oh.
And he goes, he tells the umpire who's ejected him in the top of the first. You could see in the the background, it said 7:32 at night. Like literally, he got ejected an out into the game over a balk. And the umpire's wired for sound for I think like Inside Edition or something like that. That's the backstory.
40 years
Bill
ago.
Holler's the name of the umpire, and he turns to the umpire. He goes, "You just watch 5 years from now, I'll be in the Hall of Fame." And the umpire goes, "For what, Earl? For effing up World Series? Yeah. That way you're going to the Hall of Fame?"
He goes, "Hey, I've won more than I lost." He goes, "No, you haven't. I meant games." My favorite thing that he says, he goes, "You came here for one reason and one reason only." And he goes, "And what is that, Earl?" He goes, "To F us." Like, he came to Baltimore. It's like, you know what? I wasn't supposed to ump this game, but I am coming here specifically to take out Earl Weaver.
You probably believed it. My gosh, that's so funny.
They don't make them like that anymore.
Leo, available for streaming next week, Tuesday, November 21st on Netflix, available right here on Roku. You play Squirtle the Turtle.
Yes, I do.
And
they looked at my head and they said, "This guy can play a turtle."
And Sandler's in it as well. And you got.
Yeah,
are you singing in this? Do you sing in this?
No, not that I recall. I don't think I ever sang it.
Because this is a musical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it is a comedy. So I mean, if they
so you do that part.
Well, yeah. If that would have made it even funnier if listen to me try and sing.
Dude, you must be psyched. Your kids, 7.5 and 3. They're going to be fired up to see this. Have they seen it yet?
No, they haven't. There's.
Are you going to tell them that you're the turtle, or are you just going to pop it on for them?
I don't know. I think it might be weird.
What? Just to not tell them?
Because it's just Dad's voice coming out of a turtle, so they'll just be like, I don't know if I want to like ruin that thing. Oh yeah, there's the man right there. That's that right there. That guy is he's the greatest.
He is.
He is the greatest. He's just the nicest, coolest guy ever that's done $20 zillion in box office.
I met him at Yankee Stadium when I was on SportsCenter. It was when the Yankees were going on their run. It might have been like the '98 World Series or whatever, and he stopped for absolutely every single person that came and asked him for a picture and an autograph. And this is back in the day before cell phones. There was like actual like cameras, and people had to, focus and ask people for. Everybody asked him. He said yes to everybody. Yeah. Every last human being. He's a good dude.
Yeah, and he's still doing that, so it wasn't an act.
So this is fun for you, I imagine, right?
Yeah. It was a great time, and it was also something that was, Robert Smigel was on it, so we did a lot of it through like they would zoom in. I can't remember what it was during the pandemic or not. These animated things take a while, but it just kept getting funnier and funnier, and just watching it like slowly coming together.
Okay.
And because that's like the big thing, like what is the animation going to look like? And which I think is so huge. And then when, they're just like sketches at first. And when it finally came together, I was like, oh man, this looks like it's going to be great.
Yeah.
So I've yet to see it. Yeah. But
great.
We got the premiere on Sunday, so I'm going to go to that.
Oh, fantastic.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good.
I'm psyched.
Fantastic.
And by the way, I had a great time at the UFC. The fights were unbelievable.
They were.
Yeah.
Okay.
And thank you to Dana. He hooked me up with the tickets.
What did you like about it? This is $295, right?
It's different,
right? $295.
When you sit that close and you just sit the same angle, it's different than them jumping all around. with the edit and stuff. There was just something like, it was like this is like a fight. These guys are fighting. These women are fighting like right in front of us. And you could see like adjustments because she was so close. And it just seemed like one fighter would just figure the other one out a split second earlier because they were very evenly matched that night. And with the kids, I don't know anybody's name, but it was just like that level of like athlete. And then just the guts that it takes to walk into an arena shirtless to go just fight another guy that's one of the greatest fighters and athletes. And then it was fun, you know, Joe Rogan's an old friend of mine, and it was just really fun watching him. You know, every once in a while there'd be like a big hit, you know, and I would look over to see if he's doing. I love when Joe does that. Oh, when he does that thing,
right.
And then watching him, like, dude, like it's not a short walk for him to go all the way around to go up there and be having to be thinking like. I guess in that short walk, he thinks of like all the questions he's going to ask because it's all like improv and stuff, and he's so good at it, and obviously knowledgeable with his background of fighting. That was another thing. It was like it reminded me back in the day being a huge fan of Letterman and going to a taping of it, and then being blown away by like, oh my god, like the desk is right there. I thought this place was like so much bigger, and seeing in between the commercials what happens, listening to the band, it was the same thing to sit that close and like. Just those little things. Just that's when Joe gets up, and then he goes around there. I was sort of geeking out about the whole thing.
295 UFC in Madison Square Garden, where you crushed it as well. You're the best, man. I love when you come in here and you crack me up, and you always get.
And then I'm a Michigan fan. That helps.
Well, that helps.
That helps.
Well, that offsets the New England aspect of it. But I married a New England family. It's okay. I married into a family of massholes. That's for sure.
Oh, that's all right. So you're a Jets fan, huh?
I am. Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I knew the Patriots weren't going to be that competitive this year.
This was a kick in the nards.
And
total kick.
Aaron Rodgers, going up again because it was sort of a foregone conclusion that the Bills were going to win it, and can they finally get past the Chiefs? And I was so looking forward to like all football got cheated, that unlucky injury. So I'm hoping that Aaron Rodgers comes back.
He may.
Better than ever.
He may.
No, he's definitely coming back. But
this year is what I'm talking about. It's entirely possible he comes back this year, which would be insane. You know,
Jerry Rice did it like 20-something years ago. So maybe, I don't know. Don't you just go to Germany and they like spin your blood and they get like a cadaver?
I just came back from Germany. I didn't see that.
That's why you look so good. You got your blood spun over there.
Look at me and my platelets shining with Bill Burr. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming.
Great seeing you, too. Thank you so much.
The great Bill Burr. Everyone check out right here on Roku, because you can get Netflix right here on Roku. Old Dad's available now, and Leo available next Tuesday in time for Thanksgiving. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.